Hello everyone and welcome back to my corner of the internet. If you're like me, you can feel like your brain is running on 56 tabs at once in college. So today I kind of want to talk about my favorite tips and tricks and how I stay organized without feeling like I'm losing my mind every single day. This is kind of going to be a chatty video and I wanted to talk about a few different categories of how I organize things. I obviously have everything on my handy dandy iPad. When does my iPad not make a little cameo in every single video? Okay, I just hit legs at the gym yesterday and I am absolutely dying, but it's fine. I have been loving like all of the different things that I have been like starting to do since I have moved to college, and obviously entering back onto the college scene has been a little bit stressful, a little bit of a struggle. I want to talk about 5 different categories of ways that you can stay organized and just to like help your brain feel like a little bit less cluttered up there, because there's a lot going on. There's so many activities, so many things calling your attention at college that it can feel really overwhelming. So first up, I want to talk about planner systems. Then we'll go into some physical organization tips, some time management hacks, mental clarity tips, and then some study things that I enjoy doing. So if you're interested in hearing about those things, follow along. Okay, so going into planner systems, I wanted to talk about 2 apps that have served me well for years, and I still use them and I love them so much. So the first one that I'm going to put up on the screen right here, it's called Notion, and I know that a lot of YouTubers are sponsored by them, and I love Notion for a lot of reasons. This video is not sponsored because nobody knows who I am, but I was just scrolling through my homepage and showing a little bit about the things that I use Notion for. I keep track of all of my video content as well as my school stuff. So when I applied for scholarships this past year, I kept a graph of all of the scholarships that I applied for, how much I was going to be making from it, and the requirements for the scholarship. That helps so much to stay really organized. That is Notion. I love it. I love that it's customizable. You can do a lot of it for free. The website has many free templates, so I really recommend Notion. It is a little bit difficult to learn at the beginning, so I highly recommend just looking up a tutorial on how to use it, because there's a lot of different shortcuts, tools, and ways that you can organize it, but it's fully customizable, so you can really make your planner look amazing. So yeah, that is Notion. The second one is called Structured, and Structured is just an app that I have on my iPhone. It's a regular calendar app, but I love the way that you can plan out and chunk out your time and really like get down to the nitty gritty of what you want to be doing that day. So like I can put in tasks, reminders, and different activities that I'm going to be doing and block them out into my schedule. And my favorite part is that I can check them off on the side. And so it makes me feel really productive, like I'm getting all my crap done, and I truly feel like I am just like on a roll when I'm using my Structured. I have been using Structured for probably like 7 years now, and there is a paid subscription to get like all of the features, but it is still like really nice with just the free version as well. I really recommend Structured if you feel like you are like very much meticulous in your planning, and when all those tabs are going on in your head and you don't know where to put them, putting them into Structured can help so much. And there's even a little tasks section, which I will put up on the screen as well. So at the bottom, you have your timeline section, and that is going to show you all of the things that you have like blocked out in your time. But then you have an inbox section. So I have different things and tasks, and you can make one. For example, do laundry. Maybe that isn't something that you know what day you're going to need to do it, but it's in your inbox, so you know that it's a task that you need to get done. And so you can block out the time. I'm gonna make it, it's gonna take me 30 minutes to do my laundry. And then when I click the checkbox, I can decide what day I wanna do it on. So I can do it on Tuesday, and I can do it at 12 o'clock. And so I'll put that, I'll change the color, and I'll add the task. And then it will go from my inbox over there. And then I just have an ongoing list in my inbox of what I need to get done. And that is seriously so clutch. I am so grateful for Structured. Also not sponsored. Both of those apps have just served me so well, and so I thought that I would plug them, talk a little bit about them and what I love about them. Okay, moving into physical organization. These are just a lot of tips and tricks that have helped me out. I highly recommend watching my What's in My College Bag video that I will link. I'm pretty sure. I feel like this is like full on YouTuber mode. Okay, it's gonna be up in the information tab, and I will link that video there. I just talk a little bit about like essentials for bags and college stuff. I feel like every aspect of my life needs to be organized. If it's not, who am I? Who is Kate Ashby? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. So go ahead and check out that video for like more nitty gritty on like organizing a backpack. But honestly, just make sure that you have all the essentials and make sure that it's not too cluttered and that you are really like narrowing down to the essentials. Okay, next I wanted to plug one of my favorite things ever, Okay, I love scheduling things. As you can tell, I have structured, but I also have a physical planner, and I also have had a bullet journal for many years of my life. I bullet journaled for all of middle school, all of high school, and half of college, and I don't bullet journal as much anymore, but I do enjoy having a bullet journal and having like important dates and just like making it pretty. Like, obviously this is way more time consuming, and it is mostly like more of an art outlet for me rather than like a planner, but it's like a brain dump in that aspect. Highly recommend a bullet journal if you feel like you're creative and you want to make sure that your like planning is like a good outlet and it's not just like cut and dry, looks kind of boring. That is why if you are gonna get a planner and you are not feeling like you can do a bullet journal but you want something in between, get yourself a cute cat planner, okay? Get yourself a planner from Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble has the best planners. I swear by them. I also enjoy Target's planners if you want something a little bit more clean looking, but I love how artsy and cute the ones at Barnes & Noble are. But if I go to September, first of all, there's a cute little cat cover, and they're all like themed months. And then you have your whole month, which I enjoy that like you can just see it all in front of your face. I feel like I can get a little bit confused when it's all just on my calendar app in my phone, and I enjoy that, but it's not my favorite. Having a physical planner is really nice, and I will just write down tasks or homework assignments as they come in, as I receive them in class, to make sure that they're like all in one place and that I'm not like scheduling them into my calendar because where do I put that and what do I do? Like, I don't know which day I'm gonna be completing it. I just know when it's due, but I wanna know like that it's in that week, if that makes any sense. I feel like it's just really important to make sure that you have streams of like consciousness going into multiple things. All of my blocked out tasks goes into my structured, but where does that task come from? Usually from my physical planner. And so having that like just helps me to feel, I'm talking a lot with my hands. It just helps me to know that I have multiple places where information is, and if I keep it all in one place, that can get cluttered. So these are just things that work for me. Obviously, this can be applied in many different ways for you as another college student or just as a high school student if you're watching this as a high school student. I also wanted to talk a little bit about my desk setup, and I enjoy my desk setup. It's nothing crazy. I'll go ahead and show you right now. Here's my desk. We only have one desk for both of me and my roommates, so I just have very minimal things in here. However, this is my school box. I have my notebook for class, a folder for documents, any textbook type things, and a binder with a few other notebooks inside. In terms of physical schoolwork, that is very minimal in college. You mostly use a laptop or an iPad to complete all of your tasks, but I feel like having a nice bin for all of your things that you need just keeps it in one place and not necessarily on your desk, depending of course how your dorm is set up, how your apartment is set up. We only have one desk. I don't want to put all my crap on my desk with my roommate where she's also gonna be using it. I opted for a bin this semester and I already very much enjoy it. I can keep everything in here, and I know that it's kind of like functions as a little bit of like a college locker, which I enjoy. So next up, I wanted to talk about some time management hacks. This one is the hardest for me, and I think it's really difficult for a lot of people as well, is that it's okay to have alone time if you need to prioritize yourself. This one's so difficult for me because I love to be with friends, I love to be with people, I love to hang out, but it's hard to know I don't need to be with people all the time. I can be by myself. I can literally be by myself and it is going to be okay. It's okay to have other things going on, but on top of that, like, know that alone time is very important in college. Like, it is okay to study by yourself. It's okay to be in your apartment by yourself and like do what you need to do. As long as you're productive. That is like my biggest thing. Productivity plus alone time, they go hand in hand. If you are not being productive and you are alone, sometimes it can feel like a drag and it can feel like you're not like doing anything with your life. So just knowing that is really good. That was kind of a rant. Study in your class, study in between classes, study on the bus, study on the train, study when you're on the treadmill. Getting in your work when you can is the biggest thing ever, because it was kind of like when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I never wanted to do my homework when I came home. That's not very fun, right? The least amount of homework that you could have when you came home meant the more time that you could play. So if I just did all my homework like in between my classes, on my lunch break, in my off period, like whatever, I'd come home and I'd be free to do whatever I wanted. So my goal this semester is I have to take the train for an hour up to my other college campus. once a week, and so that's 2 hours on a train. That's 2 hours to do my homework, not 2 hours to sit on my phone. And understanding that, it's like, okay, in between classes, I have a 30-minute break. Let's get this homework assignment done for my class I just went to so I don't have to worry about it. That is the biggest thing that you could do for yourself that is going to bless your life. My third tip, if it takes less than 2 minutes, do it right then. If it takes less than 2 minutes, do it now. I get so caught up in like, I can do it later, I can do it whenever, I don't have time for that. But truly, if it just takes less than 2 minutes, go ahead and do it. If it takes 2 minutes to check your status for a homework assignment and when it's due, just do it then. Don't put it off. It's just gonna pile up with everything else. Really, my biggest thing is do not procrastinate and make time for yourself. And it's way more easier said than done, but you can do it. I believe in you. All right, in terms of mental clarity, this is one that I'm actually super excited to talk about, and I'll put my screen right here. I have a brain dump note, and it's called my ultimate to do. I have need to do, stuff I can do, and then notes of everything that people tell me. Say I hear about a job that is in a city nearby. I just write that down, and it just sits in that note. It's kind of almost like that planner idea of like putting all of my school work and like assignments into here. I put all of my thoughts into my brain dump note. It sounds like a little bit cluttered in there, but that's just like brain dump. It helps me so much to like write down the things that I'm remembering that I need to do. Okay, things I need to do, things I can do. And those two, like differentiating them is so incredibly hard. How do you differentiate which ones are like you need to do and things you can do? Like what is needing to be done with like a due date and what is something that you can do? Like you can deep clean your shower. You might not need to do that tomorrow. You might need to write your 5-page paper for your English class. Highly recommend a brain dump note. I have it pinned on my notes. It just sits right up there and it is amazing and I love it. Number 2 for a tip or a trick is to just have a Sunday reset. I refuse to do homework on Sundays. That is my one day that I'm like, nope, no homework, no thinking about school. Obviously, you are in a way preparing for Monday, so it's okay to like make sure that you have all of your assignments completed. But if you're doing all these time management things and you're making sure that you're putting things in your planner and you're blocking out time in your schedule to study, Sunday will feel like a breeze. It will feel chill. You can do your laundry, you can cook, you can meal prep, you can clean your room. Obviously, there are discrepancies with that. You might have to work on Sundays, but making sure that at least you have one reset day a week, I specifically chose Sundays, is just so important and I highly recommend it. The last one for just mental clarity is to set realistic priorities to avoid burnout. I get so caught up in like, I need to get perfect grades, I need to do everything perfect, I need to be perfect. That is not possible, especially in college. You're literally in your 20s. You might even be freaking a freshman, you're 18 watching this. Like, that is okay to understand that like you don't need to be perfect, you're not expected to be perfect, and you literally can't be perfect. I really love to just like keep a list of like goals and priorities to make sure that I'm not overworking myself, because I tend to do that a lot and you just feel like you are running in place, almost like you are just like not moving and you're just like this. Your legs are moving and you're not going anywhere. So setting realistic priorities is super awesome, and I think including all of these things that I've talked about and implementing different bits of them just helps you to feel like, okay, I can do this. It's gonna be good. Last one is my study tips. Now, in high school, I did not have good study habits at all. You would not have wanted to study with me. I was not a good studier. But nowadays, I have gotten into more of a groove and I found the things that I enjoy. But ever since I found these 2 tips, it has seriously changed my game and made it so that I enjoy studying and that I want to study. My first one is to find good study music and listen to that every single time you study. No lyrics, no nothing. It can be classical music. I have tried that before, but my favorite is 432. My favorite is 432 hertz sound. What the heck is this? You might be thinking. It is specifically like a sound wave that makes your brain be calm. I get into a zone with this ish. Like, okay, so this is like 17 minutes. I'll loop it twice, and that's like 30 minutes studying. Oh my gosh. I won't even register that time has passed because I am so in the zone when I listen to that sound. And this goes into my second tip that is 20 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So since that is like a 17-minute little playlist, I'll listen to that, 5 minutes off. And like you come out of your studying and you're like, whoa, I was in the zone. But doing 20 minutes on of studying and then 5 minutes off, you come out of it and you are like, okay, feeling like you're not overworking yourself, feeling like you're not just pummeling yourself with information. I love studying now. I feel like I enjoy trying lots of different styles and lots of different things that I like to do. And it's okay if like not all of them stick. But yeah, those are my 2 favorite study tips, and I will link that song playlist down below. Okay, so those are all of the things that I do when I like to stay organized in school, and I hope that some of these were helpful. Maybe you found a couple tips and tricks that you haven't tried before and would like to implement, and I'd love to hear about your experience implementing them. So go ahead and put that in the comments down below as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!